everyone, my name is Mortensen and I want to thank you all for being here today. How many of you have experienced or currently experiencing stress and would like to know the secret to a stress-free life? Truth is, there's no such thing as a stress-free life. However, there are many ways to help manage stress. We need to be aware of the effects that stress has on our body and our mind. We also need to learn about the tools that are available to help manage as well as decrease stress. I chose this topic because we can all relate to stress. We've all experienced it, but many of us do not know the signs of it and do not know the tools that are available to help us overcome it. A study conducted in 2016 by the CCMH shows that 61% of college students are seeking counseling due to anxiety, 49% of that for depression, and 45% for stress. So I'd like to start off by defining the meaning of stress. Stress is the body reaction to any change that requires an adjustment or response. It's also a physical, mental, or an emotional strain or tension. Now let's talk about the three different types of stress. There's acute, episodic, and chronic stress. Acute stress is the most common. It's fight or flight, and it's short term, and it's very manageable stress. It can be a good stress for the most part, or sometimes it can be bad. The episodic acute stress is where you suffer acute stress frequently. You live in chaos, crisis, you're constantly worrying, and you have self-inflicted demands. Chronic stress is where it destroys your bodies, it destroys your mind and your lives. It's long-term, it wears people down every day, and you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. You have endless problems. There's also two other different types of stress. There's eustress and distress. Eustress, as you can tell, is good stress. It's positive, it's marriage, it's buying a house. It's a stress that's manageable and that you can overcome. Distress is a negative stress response. So it's overwhelmed, demand, you're losing someone or something. So as you can see, there's the funeral, you might file bankruptcy. Those are stresses that you cannot overcome. Now let's talk about how does stress affect our bodies. It affects our respiratory system and also affects our muscular system. The way that it affects our muscular system is our muscles tense up. Once we're over the stress, then the muscles go back to its normal state. Respiratory is the shortness of breath, fast breathing, and it starts to close up the airway between the nose and the lungs. So it starts to tighten up where you feel like you can't breathe. It also affects our cardiovascular and the gastrointestinal. As far as cardiovascular, it increases the heart rate. You have stronger contractions of the heart muscle, and you feel that's when you start feeling your blood pressure go high. That's also when you can be on the fight or flight stage. The gastrointestinal affects the asparagus, the stomach, and your bowel movements. The asparagus is where it gets harder for you to swallow food and you start to get stomach pains. It's just harder for you in general to start digesting. Stomach, you can start getting pains, you feel nausea, you can increase or decrease your appetite. And then there's also the bowel. You have bloating, pain, discomfort. It also affects how fast your body moves the food in your body, which can either cause diarrhea or constipation. Now let's talk about how to identify the emotional signs of stress. Emotional signs of stress is feeling overwhelmed, anxiety, moodiness, loneliness, depressed, and inability to concentrate. How can we manage the stress? Well, it's good to connect with others, either by doing support groups, seeking out therapy, also increasing your physical activity like running, kickboxing, going to the gym. You can also learn relaxation techniques such as yoga or meditation. And then you also want to make sure that you get enough rest. You want to get at least 8 or more hours of sleep. And you want to try and get on a better bed schedule. You also want to learn time management. And the biggest thing is you want to learn to accept the things that you cannot control and learn to really forgive yourself. Stress is the trash of modern life. We all generate it, but if you don't dispose of it properly, it will pile up and overtake your life. So in conclusion, us knowing the signs of stress and learning the tools to apply to decrease or manage it will help us be in a better path to a happier, healthier life. Thank you.
Good job.